Everyone, Andrew Medlam here. So we are live inside the community. It is a Friday, 11:30 in the morning. And for myself, nearly obviously midday. And I wanted to jump in here just to share a bit of wisdom, insight into helping some of you guys that's on the brink, on the level of leveling yourselves up to get more clients, high paying clients, premium paying clients, start charging the worth that you know that you bring to your client's world. If that's you, then stick around because I've got some information that I'd like to share that can help you to level yourself up quicker, easier, and faster. So I titled this live. By the way, if you are new into my world, if you're new into this community, first and foremost, let me introduce myself, right? So I'm the host of this community. I run this community, and my name's Andrew Medlam, and I've been a coach, a mentor for the last decade, helping high-level premium quality clients in order to up-level their branding, up-level their messaging, up-level their packaging, up-level their pricing in order to attract premium quality clients that's ready to invest at the level that they want to sell their offer at. So what do I want to share? So I've titled this live, Why Most Getting Clients Coaching Programs Don't Work. And this is the reason why. So first and foremost, let me know, right? Have you ever invested in yourself? Have you ever invested in maybe a course, a program, whether that be in high ticket, mid ticket, low ticket, or maybe it's just like a $7 offer or a $27 offer or a couple $100, right? But you've invested into something that's promised that they're going to help you to get more clients. But then when you jump into the container, that like you don't get the results, and it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. That like, also you can see working for the people, but for some reason it's just not working for you, right? Let me know if you've experienced that. I'm just gonna have a quick drink. I've been doing a lot of talking today, and it's only 11:30. Okay, so let me know if you've experienced that. And it's like in your mind, it's like, well, why isn't it working? You can see it working for the people, right? That's one of the reasons why you got started, because you've seen testimonials of other people like crushing it, they're killing it, and they're generating like large amounts of results. They're bringing in a lot of cash flow in a relatively small space of time. But then you jump in, and then for some reason it just doesn't work for you. You don't get the results that they're promised. So then it's like, okay, well, this is something else I've invested in, and this is not working, and this is not working. What's next? And then you jump onto another bandwagon, and this is not working. Well, I want to illustrate something, because this is what I see. One of the biggest reasons why a lot of coaches, they're not generating the sales, right? They're not getting the clients. They're not moving forward, and they're just constantly on this hamster wheel, just constantly chasing. And it doesn't matter what they invest into, at whatever level price point that they invest at, it still just doesn't work, right? There's a reason behind it. So like, the biggest thing that I can help a client achieve is not necessarily the sales, right? It's helping them transform into the person that they need to be in order to execute on the strategy, execute on the tactics, execute on the actions that I give them at the level, right, that commands the results. It's not necessarily the strategy, it's the person that they be within inside the strategy, how they show up, how they level up, how they communicate, right? So, for example, I'm going to use the whiteboard. Let me just make sure, just like if you're watching, I can see that somebody's watching. If you're watching, just let me know that you are here, and you can see me, right? You can see the whiteboard. Okay, I'll just make sure I can hear myself. Right, okay, so we've got whiteboard. So you join a program, right? And it's like, wow, the program is amazing. So this is the program. You see the coach, you see the testimonials, you maybe even go through to a landing page. If you've got a landing page, You maybe even have a conversation with them inside Messenger. Maybe you're inside their community. Maybe you've done all your research, right? You're doing your due diligence on the coach, on the research, on looking at the client testimonials. You kind of got a vague idea of how they work and the level of the workup, and it all looks exciting. It all sounds like, wow, this is exactly what I need in order to elevate my business, in order for me to start generating more leads, getting more clients, and earning more money, right? It looks like the dog's bollocks, right? So you join the program, but then nothing works, right? And you're just faced with challenges and challenges and challenges and challenges, and you just can't seem to inject anything that they tell you that you need in order to move forward, right? So you're just coming across blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks. The problem with a lot of that is that it's not that the program's the problem. It's not that the program's a problem. And I know, right? I do know that there's a lot of coaching programs out there that's absolutely garbage. And I'm not here to throw stones at anybody else. But I know there is a lot of coaching programs that's absolutely garbage. And personally, I've invested in a lot of them. And I've done my level best to get out of the contract because it is garbage. It is not what they've preached. And it's very low level stuff. The support level's not there. And it's so you've got to do your due diligence. But right, let's say that you did join a program and the strategy is amazing, right? The coach is amazing, the support is world class, the community is amazing, everything is great. You can see yourself that this is going to work for you, but it doesn't work for you. 9 times out of 10, this is the reason why. Trust the person, right? There's a disconnect between who the person is and who the person needs to be in order to execute on the strategies that is taught inside the program. Because the program is next level up. And because it sounds amazing, it looks amazing, and everybody else is generating results, you think, wow, this is it. This is my time. This is exactly what I need. And you jump inside the container. But nothing changes, right? And it's because of this, right? Who you need to be. You are not the person that you need to be to execute at the strategy, at the level of the strategy that is of ease to you, right? This comes natural to you. This comes effortless for you, because strategy is not everything, right? It's the person that you be inside the strategy that makes the strategy work. So you need to up-level yourself. Typically, this is what happens. And hopefully you should still be able to see this, right? So you join a program, and make sure you can see that line. You join a program, and it sounds amazing, it looks amazing. And then you come across a block. Maybe the program is asking you to do something, right, that potentially are part of the strategy that the coach teaches you. There's something there that creates a resistance inside of you. That kind of like scares you a little bit. That puts fear in you for actually to do that, right? So one of the things that stops a lot of coaches from doing this, right, is fear. It's not that the strategy doesn't work, but it's the fear that you associate to the strategy of doing the thing, right, that holds you back. That creates resistance. That stops you from moving forward. That stops you from executing on the things each and every day to be able to make it work. All right. So you don't do it. So then potentially you look for a way around it. Well, how can I get beyond that without actually doing that? And then you start changing the strategy. Now that we see that the strategy works, but because you're not doing the things that the coach asks you to do, how they ask you to do it is not working for you, right? And it's because of fear. So in order to be able to get beyond that, right, you've got to understand, well, why are you associating fear to this strategy? And then you go look that fear in the face and coach yourself around that. If you know the self-coaching model, right, then use that. You probably know you probably know that. You probably teach that to your clients, right? If you don't know that, then learn it and coach yourself around that. Understand where the fear is, why the fear is showing up, and execute on the strategy. I have an amazing client right now, and I walked her through this a few days ago because there was elements of what I am asking her to do that there's a little bit of resistance in doing that. And she's identified that. She's showcased that to me. And now I'm walking and talking her through that and showing her what is the problem. And she's like, wow, that's amazing. Right? 9 times out of 10 is fear of doing the things that you need to do in order to execute on the strategy to get the results. So as adults, what do we need to do? Right? We need to get over that fear. We need to get over it, not around it. We need to get over it. We need to go through it. And this is the only way that you're going to keep up leveling yourself. So you get over this fear here, right? And then you can up level yourself to another level and you're climbing. And then I can guarantee you this is what's going to happen next, is that you're going to reach, there's going to be another element of the strategy, right? That's going to create resistance inside of you for actually doing it. And there's going to be another resistance, right? There's going to be another wall that you hit. And there's going to be some fear based around doing that. Whether it's reaching out, whether it's sending somebody a message, whether it's connecting with somebody, whether it's you stepping into your zone of genius and accepting your greatness and taking ownership of the magic that you do and niching down, right? Just going after one specific person and you're scared of leaving money on the table because, well, there's all these other people that I want to serve. Just an example, right? Maybe it's you writing a post that is really super targeted, and maybe you are really like calling them out on something or sharing a personal story or whatever it may be, or you should creating vulnerability, or you just like speaking boldly and being fierce with inside your message and being unapologetic in the messaging, right? A lot of people are scared about doing that, right? Who am I to speak like this? Or am I to put myself out there like this? Or am I to speak with these powerful words, right? A lot of coaches are scared of doing these things. The strategy works, and the strategy works for everybody that executes on the strategy. But if you can't execute on the strategy because there's some resistance from actually stopping you from actually doing it, and not just doing it, but doing it at a level with confidence, with ease, right? Again, being unapologetic, being in flow with it. But fear is going to show up again. So what do? Right? We can try and either get around it, we can try and ignore it, we can do whatever. But if we don't look at that fear, understand the connection between the fear and what we're putting into the strategy and understanding why there's this retention, right? That's stopping us from doing it. We're not going to do it. But as humans, we've got to progress. Maybe it's not fear. Maybe it's like a skill set that you're going to learn. And that skill set it takes time, right? If you look over my shoulder, right, there's a keyboard, there's a piano here. Now, I'm going to do an in-depth story of that, but years and years and years ago, right, many of you guys don't know that I used to be a professional musician, and I've traveled the world, and I've been on stage with some amazing worldwide artists, and I've played in front of like 15,000 audiences, which is unbelievable. But in order for me to get to the level of competence where I was professional, right, that took me to build up a lot of skill sets, and it took time and time and time. Now, it's not going to take you years and years and years, right, to build up these nuances and these small skill sets in order to start building your business, but it does take time. And sometimes it takes some people longer than others. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes for some people, it just comes naturally. So maybe it's not fear, right? Maybe it's skill set. But if you don't learn that skill set, then you're never going to elevate. right? You're never going to climb above again. You're never going to climb up. And this is it, right? This is it. You're going to learn something and you're going to plateau, right? Then there's going to be something else within inside the strategy. They're going to either build something, create something, learn a new skill set. But every time you hit that fear, you hit that wall, you hit that something that's creating resistance from stopping you from doing it, right? Maybe it's daily activities that you need to do in order to run your business, right? Generate leads, create conversations, book calls, generate sales. Maybe you see resistance and there's some fear in that. Well, if you never get over it, right, or through it, you're never going to get beyond it. So you're an adult, right? You're an adult. You're building a business. You're the CEO, right, of your company. So we've got to start acting like that, start acting like adults, and you've got to start climbing. And then when you start climbing, what's happening? You are developing as a person, as a business owner, as a coach, right? As a marketer, as a salesperson. You're developing all these skill sets. And soon, suddenly, because you keep plowing forward and you're not just plateauing, you are becoming the person that you need to be in order to execute on the strategy at the level the program's created for. See, there's a lot of programs, a lot of coaches out there that will just enroll you, right? Because you're a coach and because you've got the money and not necessarily because you're ready for it, right? There's a lot of coaches out there that'll just enroll you just to get bums on seats, just to make their figures look good and healthy at the end of the month, knowing full well, right, that they're not going to teach you to level up. They're not going to help you to change your identity. They're not going to hold you accountable. They're not going to show you how to break through the barriers and the limiting beliefs that's stopping you from elevating. One of the biggest things that I can bring to my clients' world is not necessarily the sales, right? It's helping them to elevate themselves to become the person that warrants to run a 100K or a six-figure business or a couple of $100,000 business. That's the biggest gift that I can help my clients achieve, because I know that if I can elevate them as well as give them the strategy, right, generating the results is not going to be the problem. It's not going to be a problem whatsoever. Let me know if this makes sense. Nikki, I appreciate you. All good. If you've got any questions around this, right, if this makes sense, then let me know. Because everybody's out there jumping on the bandwagon, looking for strategies, looking for new information, looking for wisdom, looking for golden nuggets, picking people's brain, jumping from webinar to webinar to webinar to webinar, jumping inside all these Facebook groups, consuming all this information, trying to find that secret sauce in order to build their business. It's less to do with the strategy, and it's more to do with you as an owner, as a business owner, as a person, as a coach. It's more to do with you. This is what you need to take. Rosie, you feel this, right? Nikki, makes total sense. Deeply, honestly, I can guarantee, right? I will guarantee that if you level yourself up, like, strategy will not be a problem. Getting clients will not be a problem. But if you don't, if you sit in fear, if you're scared of showing up, going live, creating posts, and doing the nuances, the things that you need to do inside the strategy, it's not going to work, right? And you're forever going to be chasing. Life's too short, right, not to be having the dreams that you want, to be living the dreams that you want. Life's too short, right? So stop chasing the strategy. Start leveling yourself up. I've got loads and loads of books. Here, there's a small collection of my books. I've got more books upstairs as well. I am constantly leveling myself up. I'm constantly pushing myself. Listen, right? I'll be totally transparent with you guys, right? Totally transparent, right? I have fear. There's some things that I'm scared about, but you'll never know, right? Because I work on myself. I work on myself each and every day. to be able to push beyond the fear that's showing up. And you probably heard as well, right? Like every level, there's a new devil. You probably heard that, right? So all these here, these are new levels. So you probably heard that every level that you climb, there's a new devil. Every time you push beyond the resistance that's stopping you from moving forward, right? There's another devil that's around the corner that's waiting for you, that's going to knock you down, that's going to keep you back, that's going to hold you down, right? It's not. It's the same devil. Every level, same devil. And how do I know this? The first time I witnessed this and felt this was when I went through to Thailand. One of my first ever business coaches that I had, I flew over to Thailand, spent 10 days in a retreat full of, now this, at this time I didn't hit my first 100K. I can't remember. I don't think I had. But I went, and inside the room, there were people from all over the world that flew to Thailand. This luxurious retreat they went into, this massive house that he'd rented. Absolutely amazing. There were 6-figure earners there. There were 7-figure earners there. There were 8-figure earners there. And every single one of them had fear. Every single one of them, right? Even the 8-figure business owners, right? They had fear in showing up. They were scared in doing certain things inside the business, right? But they did it anyway. They did it anyway. They learned the skill sets. They developed the mindset. They developed themselves as a person in order to, when that fear came, right, they didn't let it stop them. They leveled themselves up and every time they leveled themselves up, there was something else around the corner waiting to grab them, to put them into fear, right? But they understood how to control that and to get beyond that. Thank you very much, Rosie, for your kind, supportive words, please. So listen, right? A lot of programs, there is a lot of dross out there. You got to be careful. You got to do your due diligence. Make sure you're not just throwing money to anybody, right? Make sure that it's the right program with the right strategy for you as a person, for where you're at, for where you want to go, and the support's there at the level that you need in order to get beyond where you are, to get to where you want to go, right? There is a lot of dross out there. There's a lot of people telling you that, yeah, this is what we're going to do, and you're going to get this, and you're going to get this. And then when you're inside the container, it's nothing like that at all, right? So make sure you do your due diligence. But when you're inside the container, right, just make sure that it's not all in the strategy. When I join, right, make sure you level yourself up. When I join another container, right, when I've just invested in a new coach, right, I know that strategy for me, for where I am, right, it's next level. It's going to demand more of me than anything else. I know I can do it, and I know the strategy works. But if I don't become the person in order to execute on what's expected of me through the strategy, I'm not going to get anything from it. And potentially I've wasted a shit lot of money, right? One, I'm not going to allow that to happen. Two, I'm never going to allow myself to enter a container and never level myself up, because I know the game. I know what it's about. I know what it's about. And I know that the people that's like here, and they're not willing to climb, they're not willing to get through this, they're not willing to break down that wall, right? They're playing small. And if you want to get the 10K months, the 20K months, right, you can't get to that level by playing small. It will never happen. It will never happen. So, we can kid ourselves, right? We can pretend, oh, it's amazing, we're doing amazing things, it's going to work, I've just joined this, it's all going to be great. No, right? We can't kid ourselves, right? We need to stop being a kidder. We need to level ourselves up. We need to level ourselves up. So I hope you found value in that. Nikki, thank you for showing up. Rosie, thank you for showing up. Thank you for sharing your kind words. If you've got any questions around this, if you're watching this on a replay, and if you've got any questions around this, if this makes sense to you, if this like opens the light of, so that's why that didn't work, because I could see other people are getting results from it, but it just weren't working for me, then like, be honest with yourself. Many times I have conversations with people and I'll say to them, what have you already invested in that didn't work? And they say, well, I joined this and I joined this and I joined this. And I know, right, some of the people that they've joined, like they're like friends of mine that's running these 7-figure or 8-figure coaching programs. And I know the level of the strategy inside the program. And I know the level of person that they need to be in order to make this work. And I know that it's not because or it's due to lack of support or lack of strategy or whatever. I know it's because that they didn't execute. And I'll ask them, well, why didn't that work for you? Because I know the game, and I know the rules, and I know the strategy inside that container. So why didn't it work for you? And they come back and say, well, maybe I weren't committed enough, maybe I weren't confident enough, maybe I just didn't execute on the strategy as often as I should have. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Right? It's all a reflection. It's all a reflection of ourselves. We can always point the finger. I learned this lesson a long time ago. We can always point the finger, but there's always 3 fingers pointing back. And I think there's a lot of people out there that's willing to point the finger, and they're not willing to accept the truth in why it doesn't work. Right? And I guess I understand why, because it's letting themselves off the hook of like blame the it's me, it's my fault. But don't be that person, right? This is your business. These are your dreams. These are your results that you want. This is your lifestyle that you want to live. This is the impact that you want to have in the world, right? Step up, stand up, play a bigger game. Elevate yourself. Because in order to get premium quality clients, it's not about the strategy. It's about you. It's about your messaging. It's about how you show up. It's about how you resonate. It's about how you connect. There's a lot of deep psychology that goes into ITK sales, getting premium quality clients. Okay. So happy Friday. I hope you found some wisdom in that, some useful information in that. If you've got any questions around that, feel free to ask those inside of here. Thank you guys for showing up and supporting me. Love you lots. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing weekend. Let's smash this. It's not going to be long before we're inside Q2, right? Just have a look. In Q1, have you achieved the things that you want to achieve? I know there's a month left, right? But already, right? We're at the last month in Q1. If things don't start changing, Q2 is going to be exactly the same. Q3 is going to be exactly the same. Q4 is exactly the same. And this year, 2024, is going to be exactly the same as 2023. So if you want it to be different, it starts with you. It starts with you. I'm up leveling myself all the time. You'll see me, right? You will see a difference in the way I'm showing up moving forward from this live, because I'm elevating myself. I'm elevating everything. I'm elevating my messaging. I'm elevating me. I'm elevating my branding. I'm elevating my coaching skill sets, the way I work with clients, my packaging, everything. And what comes with that is I'm also elevating my pricing as well. So like, go on this journey of elevating everything that you do. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out on this. Love you and leave you. Speak to you soon. Au revoir. Have an amazing day. Bye for now.